That's right, guys, the new Ziggs skin, and oh my god, this skin looks amazing. So on top of me having a new Ziggs skin, I actually have some new things with Ziggs, the gameplay wise and build wise. Because let me tell you guys one thing. I put Ziggs in the S plus tier, remember? But after playing him for like 10 or 15 games in the current meta, I honestly gotta say he's not S plus tier. He's S tier. And there are several reasons for that. I'll discuss all this during the gameplay part of the video. Now I'm gonna talk about how to build Ziggs. You start with the Luden's Echo. Now this item, you should always get it before the first dragon. It's so cheap and so easy. It costs 3000 gold. If you just stay in your lane and farm up, you will always be able to get the Luden's Echo, always. Okay, after Luden's Echo, you go for boots, boots of just the normal boots. And I like to go for Ionian Boots of Lucidity. This is to spam my abilities, but keep in mind you're gonna be quite low on energy anyways, so only getting the boots of speed is actually fine. After that, you go for Leandries. And I do want to say one quick thing about this build, however. Everything is super powerful about this build. There was only one major weakness: energy. You will have so little energy. Like, this is the only item that actually gives you energy, the Luden's Echo, and you really want to go for it. Don't start with a Leandries, please don't. I see some Ziggs players do it. Don't. You really want to start with Luden's Echo. It deals more damage and it gives you the max mana that you really need. So after that, boots and then Leandries. This is where you actually become very powerful. This is where you start to deal a lot of damage with your abilities. So as your boots, you always go for Ionian Boots of Lucidity. You don't go for Glutinous Griefs. And the reason for that is the runes that I use. More on this later. About the third item, Rabadon's Death Cap. It provides so much value, guys. Even if the enemy has shielding, just get a Rabadon's Death Cap. It's so worth it because it gives you a lot of ability power and, of course, Overkill. Increases all ability power by 40%. Always get this as your third item. As your fourth item, I almost always go for Void Staff because it provides so much value in the late game because of the percentage magic penetration, 40%. However, if the enemy has almost no shielding at all, no magic resist, you can choose to go for the Green Book instead. And see, the thing is, I used to have Lich Bane in my build, but you always want to go for the Green Book. And the reason for that is, if the enemy has any healing, which they likely will, like Jinx has healing, so any healing, the Green Book is just worth more than the Lich Bane. And you're just gonna reduce all their healing so easily with all your bombs. You can just keep raining down your bombs, and the Green Book is gonna do a lot of work to do anti-heal. Also, this item gives you flat magic penetration, which is really good against squishy targets. And you always want to get a Void Staff. Never skip the Void Staff. Don't do this. I never want to see this build. Never. You always need a Void Staff. Always. The 40% magic penetration is incredibly powerful in the late game and worth over any other item. Oh, by the way, about your enchantments, you want to go for Stasis Enchant. When you get dived on, you want to have a Stasis Enchant. Very powerful on Ziggs. So as your runes, there's different types of runes that you can go for in your build, but I like Conqueror. I actually always go for Conqueror. So let me tell you about the other runes. You can go for Airy. This one is good if you want to poke in your lane. I don't feel like I need it because Conqueror just provides way more value in team fights. Electrocute, if you want to do the quick Electrocute combo. Again, I don't go for it because I just go for the Conqueror. Because Conqueror gives you so much bonus damage, in laning phase, in the longer fights. All you gotta do with Conqueror is change up your playstyle a little bit and basic attack the enemies over and over again to stack up the Conqueror. It's gonna be I'll show you during the gameplay part. As my second rune, now here's where, the runes actually change. Hunter Vampirism. I didn't really use this rune too much earlier on, but now I realize this is actually a very powerful rune if you can get those kills. So it's very important to get the Luden's Echo, with this build, because it's gonna allow you to get kills more easily during the dragon fights. So Hunter Vampirism is gonna give you magical vamp and a lot of ability power. All you gotta do is just really try to get those kills, try to gank lanes, get a lot of separate kills, because if you can get 5 kills, you get so much vamp for free and a lot of ability power. As my third rune, Second Wind. Now the reason that you go for Second Wind is because it provides sustainability in your lane. It heals you up, 6 health every 5 seconds. Obviously this becomes useless late game, but in the early game it's very powerful. You're gonna win the lane super hard with this one. So you don't need Brutal to actually win the lane, or Champion rune. That's why I go for Hunter Vampirism. This rune, the Second Wind rune, should allow you to win the sustain game fairly easily in the lane. As my fourth rune, see, I go for Sweet Tooth, but you can go for a mana flow band. See, Sweet Tooth is just broken. That's the thing that it is. Like, it's gonna give you a lot of healing in the lane. It's gonna give you a lot of gold. But if you're the type of Ziggs player that really wants to spam his abilities, go for a mana flow band. It's gonna give you a lot of mana, right? But I don't recommend it. It's just Sweet Tooth is broken, guys. As your spells, of course, Flash and Barrier. Alright, that was it about the build. Let's get into the gameplay. Alright, on to the gameplay. And I purposely didn't put highlights of this game because the highlights are so damn good that, I just don't want to spoil the game. I really want you guys to enjoy this game to its fullest. Whether it's a win or a loss, just guys, you're gonna love this game. So let's talk about Ziggs. This. So I'm gonna ask you guys real quick. Why did like this? This is not an easy question. This is definitely not an easy question. But I really want you guys to think about it. Why did I just throw my bomb like that? And what are the benefits that you get out of it? And what could you what are the benefits that you can get out of it? Let me know in the comments. This is you will really test your knowledge with this one. So put it in the comments, pause the video, and you'll see it now. Boom. So with Ziggs, this is the thing that you can do with Ziggs. You throw your bomb in the bush, in that little bush over there, because that's where the enemies can hide. And when you hit an enemy, of course, you hit an enemy. When you miss an enemy, you can actually face check the bush. See, it's very unlikely that they're gonna avoid the bomb. Like, if they want to kill you, they're gonna camp the bush and wait for you. When you throw your bomb, you're just gonna hit them. So then you can go out and you'll deal free damage. If you miss everything, like if the bomb doesn't actually hit anyone, you know that they're not hiding there. So what can you do? You can go in the bush and ward the blue buff. This is incredibly powerful, guys. With Ziggs, you can often get a free ward on the blue buff just by doing this quick little trick that I just talked about. No, because the enemies are not gonna be there because you checked with your bomb, and you can easily ward the blue buff, thus giving your team vision of the blue buff, which is really, really strong, of course, guys. So let's talk about laning with Ziggs. So with the build that I have and the runes that I have, you're not gonna be as powerful in the early game as my old build. You guys remember the champion rune? So they nerfed the champion rune. That's why I don't go for it on Ziggs anymore. Hunter Vampirism is really, really good, but it's weak in the early game. Keep that in mind, guys. So here you can see the way that I'm laning with Ziggs is whenever possible, I'm poking the Twisted Fate. Obviously with Ziggs, it's really easy to poke with your first ability, with the bomb, right? Like, you can always throw it, like here you can see, Actually here I decided to not poke him. I just wanted to push the lane so I could go back and regain my mana. Now this is another point that's very important about using my build. See, my build doesn't have mana. You don't have a lot of mana. So you really wanna push out your lane and go back real quick, regain your mana and come back to the lane. And this item, the blue book, the blue pages, you want to get this first because this item gives you a lot of mana. The item that I just bought in my base. You really, really want to buy that first. So, okay. Oh, the Twisted Fate just used his ultimate. Unfortunately, he killed my team. I cannot do anything about that. So this is another point with Ziggs, ganking. Now, ganking with Ziggs is very interesting. Obviously, you have your ultimate, you really want to utilize your ultimate to gank. It's very, very important. Like, it's really good for counter ganks, guys. Let's say the enemy jungler ganks my dragon lane. They're all diving my team. What can I do? I can just get a little close and throw my ultimate. It only takes 5 seconds to get close enough to throw your ultimate, guys. So do this. Always pay attention to your side lanes and pay attention to when you can use your ultimate to gank. It's very easy, and especially counter gank. By the way, guys, about the comments that I talked about, I'm doing a skin giveaway. 15 skins, I'm giving them away this month. Okay, enough about skin giveaway, let's talk about this moment. This is more important than a skin giveaway. Here you could see a perfect example of using Ziggs' second ability against assassins. So when you're against assassins like Rengar, like Evelynn, like Akali, Katarina, whatever, any assassin, obviously what you can do, your second ability, throw it on yourself and the enemy, like in between yourself and the enemy, and separate yourselves. It's gonna bounce you away and it's gonna bounce the enemy assassin away. See, this is, you really have to be able to use Ziggs' second ability if you want to get good at Ziggs, because this is your only escaping ability. And it's a, oh, I actually mistakenly upgraded my third ability here, which is really bad actually. You always want to fully upgrade your first ability as fast as possible. So what was I saying? Yeah, your second ability, guys, whenever you get dived upon, use it to escape. You almost never want to use the second ability to deal damage, almost never, unless of course, you know, you can kill someone with it, or you can knock them up for your teammates to kill them. But you generally want to use it defensively, you know, to avoid enemy assassins. So, you know, if you guys are enjoying this video, give it a like. And you know what, I'll do a challenge. If this video reaches 1000 likes, I'll make an Orianna video, because why the hell not, Orianna, okay? So if this video reaches 1000 likes, I'll do Orianna. Unfortunately, as you can see, our Akali is having quite a rough time against the Renekton, you know, quite understandably, because Renekton does counter Akali. He's really strong in these matchups against Akali, you know, these melee matchups. But Renekton should be a little careful, because, you know, if Akali gets fed, she's gonna absolutely demolish me. Our jungler just got killed, and you know, she's typing please FF. Like, okay, let me tell, oh, I'm not gonna pause actually because it's a waste of time. So a power of Ziggs is when the enemy is doing dragon, you can demolish them. So when you're playing against a Ziggs, you almost never want to start the dragon, because Ziggs is incredibly powerful when enemies are doing dragon. Let me tell you why. Because when the enemy is getting the dragon, you know, they're getting the dragon in this small circle, they're all in the circle, and your bombs deal AoE damage. All your abilities deal AoE damage. So what can you do? You can just keep spamming your abilities, especially your ultimate. It's devastating for the enemy. You're gonna deal an insane amount of damage. So keep that in mind when playing against the Ziggs, guys. You know, you almost never want to start the dragon. Almost never. Yeah, here the Renekton tried to dive me. I just flashed away, you know, very easy. So, okay, a thing to know about Ziggs as well is whenever the enemy wants to push a lane, you want to be there as a Ziggs. See, Ziggs is definitely by far the best anti-push champion in the game. So we all know that Ziggs is good at pushing turrets, right? We all know that he's good at pushing turrets, but also anti-pushing. And what do I mean with anti-pushing? I mean, if the enemies want to push your turrets, you can stop them very easily. And the way that you do it is your third ability slows the enemy minions and it deals a lot of damage. Your first ability deals an insane amount of damage to minions. Your second ability can push away minions. And your ultimate can clear out an entire wave. Every single one of your abilities is good at anti-push. Take a look at this, by the way. I got ganked. All I could do is try to get a kill on the Jinx, and I actually did get a kill on the Jinx. So, you know, even though they ganked me, you know, like when you get ganked like that, it's an obvious death, it's an instant death. Try to get the best out of it. Like, either try to get the enemies as low as possible, or if you saw there, try to kill an enemy. You know, these are the two things that you want to do in situations like that, where you're dead guaranteed, you know. So, okay, my team is actually dying here, but it's fine, you know. So when you have a Ziggs in your team, generally you want a team fight, and the power of Ziggs is sustained damage. You know, you can keep dealing damage. Like, look at this, look at this, look at this. You can keep throwing your bombs from super far away, and you are gonna out damage the enemy team in a longer fight. Unless your team does this. But yeah, like, you know, this is what you can do as a Ziggs. Keep throwing your bombs, and you wanna keep throwing them. Don't let them off cooldown. Just spam it. Boom, 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 boom. You wanna keep throwing them. You know, boom, keep throwing those bombs exploded on their faces. And like, if you hit them, you're gonna damage your enemies. You're gonna deal so much damage in team fights. Okay, so what's next? Yeah, so when you get assassinated, besides the fact that you can use your second ability to escape, there are some other things that you can do. you can use your second ability to escape and then immediately spam every single ability. Third ability, first ability, ultimate. Just auto aim. Legit, guys. Auto aim these abilities because you're gonna throw it on yourself, and you know the enemy is gonna have to walk through every single one of them, and you're likely gonna be able to just out damage them, right? So just auto aim it. And I can get my Leanders now, so obviously I'm gonna go back, get the item. And when you get these power spikes, these item power spikes, you wanna fight. Oh, by the way, the whole point of the video. Look at this skin, guys. What? I forgot that this was a skin video. Like, look at this skin. It's so nice. The sound effects and everything. It's really, really nice, you know? So, let's take a look at this fight, you know? I'm just doing Ziggs things. I'm poking the enemy. That's all I'm doing here. Like, you can see, you know, I'm not getting any close. All I'm doing is just poking the enemy. And you can see how devastating, you can see how incredibly devastating my damage is to these enemies. Like, basically all the damage that has been dealt to the enemies has been my damage. I've put all of them at like 40% HP. I killed the Braum as well. Like, you guys can see the power of Ziggs if you play him correctly. But see, the thing is, when you're playing Ziggs, you're really vulnerable to CC and assassins. Even though you have your second ability, a late game Evelyn is gonna one-shot you. And Twisted Faith, even though Ziggs is good against Twisted Faith, when he stuns you, you're incredibly vulnerable. You know, you really cannot do much against it. So keep those things in mind when playing Ziggs, right? Got my ultimate here. And, oh, he actually flashed out of it. Otherwise it would have been a kill. Now, you always want to use your ultimate in these fights. Obviously, you want to use your ultimate on his side. What am I saying? You always want to use ultimates. Like, you know, I don't know what to talk about anymore, so I just give these brain dead tips. Of course, you want to use your ultimate. So, they actually nerfed Ziggs passive. It deals less damage to turrets now, but honestly, it still deals a lot of damage to turrets. It's still, you know, it's not as broken as it used to be, but it's still definitely worth utilizing, right? The damage is really, really strong. And Ziggs is actually a late game champion, you know, especially if you use the runes that I use, you are a late game champion. So as you can see here, you know, I'm throwing bombs on the Twisted Faith, which is dealing quite a lot of damage, but it's not that much, you know, it's a lot, but not that much. See, the reason that you're a late game champion is because in the late game, your cooldowns are going to be like super, super low. You can literally spam all your abilities. And when you have your full items, the damage that you're going to deal is beyond insane. I want to spoil one thing to you guys if in this game, by the way, is I did like 60,000 damage in this game. 60,000. So you know this is going to be a spicy late game. 60,000 damage. So the Renekton is actually quite a problem. He got pretty fed off the Akali, and they're obviously doing the dragon here. And here, you know, using my ultimate, you know, I gotta say it was lucky that we took the dragon. But even though if I wouldn't have stolen the dragon, the ultimate was still worth it, because as I said, when the enemy starts dragon and you're playing Ziggs, it's golden. You can spam your abilities, especially my ultimate, you know, it dealt so much damage to them, and you can just completely demolish them in the dragon pit. Keep that in mind, guys. And here you can see how big of a problem the mana is of this build. And you know, I hate to say it, but this is just the weakness of the build, guys. You know, you're gonna have mana problems. That's why you want to get the blue buff. You know, here, like, I'm asking my team, give me the blue buff. And if you get the blue buff on Ziggs with this build, you fight. There is no question about it. You are gonna fight. It's not you wanna fight, you are gonna fight. You have to fight, because you are so incredibly powerful with the blue buff. It's a shame if you don't fight, really, because you can quite literally keep spamming your abilities over and over and over and over, and you're not gonna lose any mana. Unfortunately, my Malphite got caught here, which is not good, of course. You know, it really sucks, but we can actually still fight, even though we don't have the Malphite. I just gotta poke them. The Riven is not here, and they want to do Baron, but look, we should fight this, even though we have no Malphite. We should, like, here you can see I'm just picking engage, because I want to fight. I have a blue buff. It's such an easy fight for me. And like, we even have the Mountain Dragon. So Mountain Dragon is actually incredibly important when you have a Ziggs in your team, just like Ezreal, because if the enemy takes the Mountain Dragon, it really takes away a lot of your damage. So you really want to do whatever it takes to take the mountain dragon, right? Heh, I stopped him. Oh, so much damage. Is he dead? No way, he survives. No, we actually killed him. That's good. He did die though, but you can see like my positioning is actually very, very good in this game. You know, I'm not... as a Ziggs, you never really want to dive like the Kai'Sa just did. You just always want to stay in the back line. Really, like, even if your teammates are dying in the front line, you want to stay in the back line. Like here you can see, my team is in the front line. I'm even standing behind the wall and fighting. I'm legit standing behind the wall. But look at the damage that I'm providing to my team. But like, this is exactly what you want to do on Ziggs. Stand behind the wall, stand far away, just like this. You know, here you can see my team is dying. I don't care. I am just doing Ziggs things. And here, boom! Look at the damage. And Evelyn is going for me. What am I doing? I went for the Renekton and I even killed the Renekton. So this was really beautiful. Like here you can see that you can actually spam your abilities when you get dived on. You know, the Evelyn dived me. And it's very, very easy to actually do a lot of damage like that. So now we're actually getting into perhaps a bit of a problematic situation in this game because Evelyn is getting pretty fat. And you guys know what it means if an Evelyn is fat, right? One shot. A fat Evelyn can one shot you and you cannot do anything about it. You legit cannot do anything about it. All you can do actually, there is one thing that you can do. Stay next to your teammates, you know, so she can actually not reach you. So you'll see my positioning in this game, which is going to be very important. You know, this is also kind of a lesson on how to play against an Evelyn. Because I know a lot of you guys hate Evelyn. And let me tell you guys, the big weakness of Evelyn is if the enemy stays grouped together. Because if they stay grouped, it's really, really hard to dive. It's really, really hard to dive their carry. So I want to stay with my team. And so you have to balance here. Staying in the back line or staying with your team. Because if you stay too far in the back line, the enemy Evelyn is just going to kill you. Our Riven just died again. The Riven. Why do you die, bro? It's not a good moment to die. I still want to fight. Why? Because there's two reasons. I have a blue... Whoa. I have a blue buff and they are doing the dragon. So these are all win-win situations for us. Unfortunately, the Renekton just dived me and killed me. But it's okay. I did so much damage with my ultimate and my team is able to clean up. So this is the power of Ziggs ultimate, guys. You know, when the enemies are all sticking together, your ultimate deals an... Oh, so close. Your ultimate deals an insane amount of damage, but it also zones them, you know, because they don't want to stay in your ultimate. So it's really, really good for that as well. Like, okay, let's take a look at what's happening here. Kai'Sa just got a turret, which is good. And I pinged the dragon. I don't want the Kai'Sa to continue. And the reason for that is enemies have twisted faith. See, these are the things, so like people, they don't understand it. Like, okay, he gets another turret, right? It's okay. But look at what's gonna happen. Of course, the Twisted Faith uses his ultimate. And he goes for the Kai'Sa. And here I used my ultimate because I didn't want the Evelyn to be there. Evelyn actually respawned at the same time as me. So she would be at the dragon at the same time as me. So I saw that the dragon was pretty low. So I just used my ultimate to help the Riven. And we got the dragon. And here the Kai'Sa died. And the Baron is up, guys. We are literally in a 4v5 situation. And we're missing one of our carries. What do? We give away the Baron, right? It's like, it's kind of easy to understand. We should just give away the Baron here. If they start it. I just need to poke them, but we cannot really engage in a full fight. We just have to poke them. This is perfect. Like what I'm doing here is perfect. But like here you can see I'm not going too far. I'm just poking them. I actually got a kill. Really, really nice. Like these enemies actually made a pretty big mistake here, you know. This was actually really, really stupid what they did. Oh. So close. Like here again, you know, we won the fight because of my poking. It was really, really powerful poking. Here we gotta be careful. The Renekton can actually kill us both. He's very, very strong, this Renekton. So we gotta be very careful. I really have to head back and get my item. Like, you know, here I'm just staying away from the Renekton because he's really, really strong actually. I'm doing a lot of damage, but he just died. I used my ultimate. An easy peasy kill. And this game is gonna get hella interesting, by the way, guys. It's gonna get hella interesting. It's looking like a free game right now, but it is gonna get hella interesting, as you guys could see. The game, yeah. Mouse is it. I'm not gonna talk too much. I shouldn't talk too much. You just need to watch the game. That's it. Oh, the Twisted Faith. Look at the damage. Oh god, no. Me and the Kaiser just completely inted against the Twisted Faith. So now it's a free Baron. We don't have a Ziggs. What do they have to do? Don't fight. Just let it. Leave it. Just leave it. Don't even think about engaging if you're missing the two carries of the game. And we're even missing the jungler. Just, you know, we can defend easy because we have a Ziggs. Of course, ally slain. Guys, I hate to blame teammates. I hate to blame teammates. But just look. Just look. Just look. Just look. They just completely threw the game. Oh, I got a little tilted here, as you can see. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Enough. Enough. Don't talk break. Look at these funny insults. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Kind of funny. So here. Look at how good Ziggs can defend. Look at this. I just completely cleared out an entire Baron wave with my abilities. Oh no. This is Evelyn, guys. This is Evelyn. Flash Protobelt and... Like, this is just so sad, honestly. I couldn't do anything about that. Evelyn just completely one-shots me. Like, we just gave them such... We just gave them... So, yeah, it's just so dumb. I even told them so many times. I told them so many times that they shouldn't do it. Like, you can see how tilted I was here. And guys, this was tilting. This, because the Elder Dragon is spawning. The Elder Dragon, and I'm not there. Like here, I'm just gonna beg my team again. Wait for me. Wait for me. Wait for me. And communication is key, guys. You know, you really want to communicate with your team that they have to wait for you. Because if they don't wait here, they're just gonna lose the fight. They're gonna lose the fight without me. They can literally not win a fight without me. And see, the problem now is the Twisted Faith is hella fed. Their Twisted Faith and Evelyn are fed. So I'm gonna get one shot by the Evelyn and the Twisted Faith is gonna destroy our front line. So what am I gonna do? Of course, what I'm best at, which is poking. And here I had a beautiful ultimate. Kai'Sa had beautiful abilities. We're dealing a lot of damage to them here. This is perfect. This is how we want to initiate the fights. You still have to remember that we have 3 dragons, which makes us very powerful, and I can get a Void Staff. Go get the Void Staff. Go get the Void Staff. This item is so broken when you get it. Like, oh, I'm gonna be so strong now. All we gotta do is a 5 versus 5, and we win. And this is late game Ziggs. I have full items, so there's 2 things that I need to do in this game. Poke and avoid the Evelyn. I have to constantly pay attention to the Evelyn, and like when the Evelyn dives me, I need to click barrier and stasis immediately. So here, you know, I'm staying with my team. Here's the Evelyn. I saw the Evelyn. I'm avoiding the Evelyn, and we killed her. Like here, you can see how my position just completely saved the team fight. You know, what is the Renekton even doing? What is he trying? The Renekton is pushing while we just won the game. We won the game here. We just killed all of them. And like here I was thinking, you know, Elder, but they actually got another kill, so we can just finish the game. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna stop this Renekton from backing here. GG, easy. Very, very easy game. It was actually not an easy game, by the way. So what an intense game. That we almost completely threw the game. We almost threw the game. And that would have been the most tilting throw ever. I swear to God, that would have been the most tilting throw ever. How much LP did I have? Ooh, I actually have like 170 LP now or something like that. Look at the damage, guys. Just look at the damage. I was obviously MVP. 56, almost 57,000 damage. And the enemy Twisted Faith actually also dealt 51,000 damage. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.